Okay, the lights are out, signifying a ball is in readiness as they go onto the back section of the circuit. We should have a start next time around for the 1990 Parramatta Sprint Car Winter Nationals. To bring the field up under starters' orders. Green flag was held aloft. We should have start this time around as Linnigan picks up the pace across turns 3 and 4. Green flag. Opening heat for the Winter Nationals. Down the back section they run. Brian Linnigan skipping and jumping his way through turn 2 onto the back section of the circuit. Gary Russ Jr. throws out the challenge on the main straightaway. As the sprint cars turn up the wick onto the back section. Now it's thunder and lightning from the sprint cars down the back section. Brad Haywood in the 47 car kicks hard off the cushion, holds down third running as they unleash the bulk horsepower onto the main straightaway. Down the back section already and up and over. Kerry Madsen getting hooked up, coming onto the main straightaway, and barrel rolls and end for ends the number 29 car. Okay, we pick up the pace once again off turn 4. We go green again. Brian Linnigan again takes the field down the back section. A big wheel stand from Linnigan, gets both front wheels off the deck. So there's bite out there and them they're killed. Gary Russ Jr. still looking for the way on the inside, locks up tight. Young Tatnell hops and skips his way into third place. No change in that 1, 2 and 3 readout. Brian Linnigan leading from Gary Russ Jr. and Brooke Tatnell. They've moved right away from the remainder of the field now. And Peter Adard attempting to make an inside line on Shane Tox. Found the absolute inside line, the green infield. Going around now is Tony Barbara, based on a Challenger equipment set up, and we're also told there's plenty of backups and spares for young Tatnell. Okay, green flag flying, and we race again. And the two Brad Packers showing the way at the moment. In fact, you can make that a three-way Brad Packer with the number 88 car of Bruce Hill, second generation competitor, moving up into third and under siege now from Brad Haywood, who's not too pleased about having to start from the rear after that faux pas from the French mistake earlier in the number 47 car. Great drive from Brad Haywood at the moment, but has still got a long chase on his hands with young Gary Russ Jr. settling down best of all in car number 20. Takes it on the high line right around the outside of the Shane Tonks that time. No way an inside pass as Russ Jr. hightails down the back section. Young Brooke Tatnell in hot pursuit, and Brad Haywood slowly closing the gap. But Arthur Cowan has the white flag at the ready. There's one to go for Russ Jr. Young Tatnell with a slim chance to haul in Russ, but I don't think it'll happen. Russ sends the clay flying down through turns 3 and 4, races to the wire, and Russ Jr. will take the win. Okay, the lights are out, signifying a ball is in readiness as they go onto the back section of the circuit. We should have a start next time around. 20 laps is the journey for the 1990 Parramatta Sprint Car Winter Nationals. Out comes the green and racing. And Gary Russ Jr. takes the field through turns 1 and 2 for the first occasion. And the action is on as they lift wheels high into the air. Sweeping out of turn 2, the thunder and lightning division of the winged sprint cars at Parramatta unleash the horsepower. 1 down and 19 remaining. And Russ Jr. goes for it. Bob Tuck literally jumps out of the pack into second running, and here comes Skip Jackson. Next one through with Sid Moore, dropping back to 4, now position 5. As Colin Farr comes through to take over 4th running in the number 9 car. Back then to Sid Moore. On the extreme high line now, Peter Adard in the 53 car. Under siege from Brad Hayward and Tatnall now. George Tatnall in car number 5. 2 cars to the better of Brooke Tatnall in the 8 car. Make that only one, separating the father and son duo. George ahead of Brooke Tatnall at the moment, with Rod Bowen dropping back 1 place, and now Skip Jackson is the new race leader. Skip Jackson blasted through on the inside of Russ Jr. to inherit the lead. 1, 2 and 3. Skip Jackson heading off now from Gary Russ Jr. and veteran Bob Tunks as Colin Farr comes into the fray now. So the Brad Pack is running 1, 2 and 4 at the moment. And they're separated by Bob Tunks, who holds down position 3, and George Tatnall further back in the pack in the number 5 car, looking for the way anyway around Peter Adard as they head onto the back section of the circuit, and already now the race leaders moving up for the first time onto the tail enders. That's Warwick Singleton about to get the treatment now from the race leader as Skip Jackson slams through on the inside. Back then to Gary Russ Jr. No change. Then comes Bob Tunks, Colin Farr, George Tatnall, and Brad Hayward, who slams through now. Also on the inside of Adard down through turns 3 and 4. Rod Bowen selects the high line and looks for the way through. Back then to Brooke Tatnall, with 3 cars separating the 2 Tatnalls at the moment. John Shaw is best of the rest as Sid Moore goes backwards through the pack in the 99 car. Bob Blackwell also pretty well out of it at this stage. Meanwhile, race leader Skip Jackson races onto the main straightaway, making big inroads into this field for this 20-lap journey is Skip Jackson. Can the youngster go ahead and take the double 1 car for Villawood Truck Sales to the win in the 1990 Sprint Car Winter Nationals? It's far too early to tell at this stage, but we're right on the halfway mark. Right on the halfway mark. Skip Jackson continues to lead over Gary Russ Jr. in the number 20 car. Bob Tunks has dropped back now with George Tatnall coming through into 3rd. George Tatnall in 3rd place. Colin Farr sits in 4. Bob Tunks relegated to 5 now, and Brad Hayward still going forward in the 47 car, and Rod Bowen right on his tail now on the black and gold 76 car. But there's your race leader over on the back section of the circuit. Skip Jackson climbs up on the inside of one of the Lander cars. It's a lap down at the moment. Oh, and that's young Robbie Farr in car number 19 goes to the infield. Yellow flag out. So now they go to the nose to tail lineup. And they stand on the gas, and Skip Jackson is away. George Tatnall's already picked off Russ Jr. round the outside of Jackson, and away goes George Tatnall. And now clouds of steam emitting from the number 76 car, but Rod Bowen keeps the foot in the bucket, and Skip Jackson backs out of the race. Oh, beautiful restart from Jackson. Oh, brilliant bit of driving after getting hooked up. Went off the track, but managed to keep the double 1 car alight. Jackson will hope that Gary Russ Jr. will keep Tatnall busy so he can skip away, if you'll pardon the pun. Okay, here we go. Green flags fly. 6 laps out from the black and white. Oh, and George dropped the place as Colin Farr tried to muscle through, but GT bounces back in car number 5. Oh, and it's bye-bye as Skip as Russ Jr. comes through. Tatnall takes over 2nd. And Skip comes back and fighting hard in 3rd. Oh, and turns hard right on turns 1 and 2 out of the ballpark and watches the race goodbye. And young Rush is out now, and it's all the senior citizen George Tatnall in car number 5. The geriatric genius stretches down the back section in the Winfield number 5 car, and look at the action further back in the pack. Blackwell with a long hard charge is still making time stuff for everyone back in the field. Meanwhile, Colin Farr registered second placing now and set sail after leader Tatnall. Skip Jackson is out of a double one car. He's returned to the pit enclosure. Bob Tunks in third running in the number 54 car. Back then to Brad Hayward, who's the big danger now, and Brooke Tatnall, and Rob Bowen's thrown an inside rear tire. And Arthur Cowan has the white flag up the ready now for George Tatnall. Tatnall in the Wazoo, the Winfield Wazoo, heads to the white flag. 19 Winter National laps completed, less than one remaining for gorgeous George Tatnall, heading to victory on the Raceway. Colin Farr in second, and Bob Tunks will be third. Out come the black and whites, and Tatnall has won. George Tatnall takes the win. Colin Farr in second, and Bob Tunks in for third. Sensational racing action. Sensational stuff. It was certainly worth waiting for tonight's Sprint Car Winter Nationals. And what a drive into third place. He was up there in the early stages, dropped back but fought his way all the way back into third place. Race fans, Bobby Tunks. Good on you, Bob. Some anxious moments for you earlier tonight with that mix-up with young Grant, but that sorted itself out okay. But that must have been an anxious moment for you as a dad.
Yeah, I'll probably get in the strife when we get home. I tried to get around the outside of him, but every time he rolled, he kept coming closer. Really, we didn't need it, but it's his first one all season, I guess, so you got to have your first one sooner or later.
Bob, you've been there and done that.
Yeah, we've had a few, haven't we? Actually, we nearly had one in the main there in about the second lap. I just totally misread the racetrack, and I thought it was going to go away, and we made the car too tight, and every time you drove it into the corner real hard, it wanted to stand up on two wheels. About the second lap there, when I got round Morey and got into second, I thought we were into Parramatta Road.
Well, Bob, it's great to have you back on the dais, so to speak. Our dais is down in the pits at the moment. Congratulations on your third place.
Thanks, Ollie. I'd just like to thank, this is the last meeting of the season, I'd like to thank my sponsors, Auto Village Holden, Cotty's Tyres. I'd like to thank the boys on the crew for all their work, my son for all the help that he gives me, because I don't get a lot of time to work on the car. Ivan Walker, the Billsby Engines, and all you people, it stopped raining so we could come and see a speedway meet, and thanks very much for coming, because boy, the promoter needed it.
Bob Tunks, ladies and gentlemen, a hard trier in the sprint car division and rewarded with third place tonight. Okay, keep those hands going for Colin Farr, who finished in second place tonight. Colin, you used every part of that racetrack, every single part of it from where we were sitting. I don't know how it felt from where you were in the business end of the deal, but man, a great drive into second place tonight.
Yeah, I think tonight was the survival of the fittest. And everyone says, you know, guys like George and that are getting old, but you can drive like a track like that, he's doing pretty good.
Yeah, you want to bet, huh?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank all these people for coming out here tonight, supporting this show. You know, like, we're worried that we weren't going to get a crowd here tonight, and everyone's turned out in the numbers, which is really good. And also thank my sponsors, Lana Toyota, Valvoline, Central District Smash Repairs, and everybody for the support through the season.
Colin Farr, ladies and gentlemen, a great second place tonight. Well done, Colin. Where's my man? Here he is. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the 1990 PCR Sprint Car Winter Nationals, one gorgeous George Tatnall. Woo! Good on you, George. Congratulations. Welcome back to the winner's circle at PCR.
Yeah, it's the first time I've been here this year, Ol. We've had a lot of ups and downs, but tonight Alan and Joe, they've worked on the car really good, and I didn't like the track much, but the car liked it all right, so we got a good result out of it.
George, we were having a little bit of a giggle up there about your little psyching move on the inside of Russ Jr. each time we looked to go to the green, and it seemed to work.
Oh no, it didn't work. We showed our hand the first pass we did on Skip and young Gary, and then they'll wake up to what it's all about, and they moved up track and stopped that move coming off, but that's what racing's all about, and you know, Gary and Brooke and all the boys have got to learn all these little tricks and what happens, and
you're just the boy to teach it.
Oh well, I know, Gary Rush, we all got little tricks and that, but no, it was a good race, and the track was really good, and we just hope everybody out there enjoyed it. It was a tricky track to drive, and I felt sorry for a lot of people that hadn't a lot of experience on it, but as I say, it's that's what racing's all about, the spectacular, and unforeseen things happen with it. So
It's great to see you up as a winner, George. At a long last this season, as you say, we haven't been here that many times this season. It's been one of your hardest, hasn't it?
yeah, we've had a hard year, Alan and Joe and Matt and Brooke. We've been right across the country, Chase. We've done a lot of meetings and that. We've had a lot of success, and we've had we've had our ups and downs the same as everybody else has. But Parramatta's our home track, and we like to get here and race. And unfortunately, with the rain and everything else, we've lost a few of those this year. But I'd like to thank my brother Joe, who works tirelessly on the car, Alan Felsh for the engines, and also for a wrench in the car for Brooke and I. Winfield, Australian Airlines, Shell Oil, and the Hilton Hotels. And thanks everybody for coming.